When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Avon's Clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a hypnosis session created for a client that had no burp syndrome. And there are a few people around the world, it's a recognized condition, that cannot burp or don't burp. But the belief is that they cannot, even though they may have some references where a parent says they were burping when they were a baby or a toddler. In recent memory, they have some unconscious response that means that rather than when gas rises up, it comes out, not necessarily as a belch, but just a releasing of that gas, they suppress or restrict that natural response. And that can cause discomfort because effectively it becomes trapped wind. And if it can't go out through the mouth, it goes in a different way. And all of this relates directly to what I was working with on this particular client. So what you're going to hear is a hypnosis session with 2 open loops and various metaphors designed to enable the client to feel that it is natural and just something that they don't have to do, that they don't have to resist in order to do the very natural thing. So if you have no burp syndrome, you might get some value from this. But even if you don't, there's going to be certain metaphors here that relate to the idea of resistance. So it could just be a metaphor for something else that you're trying to control too much in your life. If you want a bespoke session with me, I would encourage you to look at the link in the show notes, or you can visit my website, adamcox.co.uk, and there you'll find out various details to work with me. And if you want a discounted consultation call, use the coupon code podcast. For now, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be distracted or disturbed. Relax and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that feeling of calm relaxation. And as you exhale, focus on the tiny muscles around your jaw, your throat, your neck, and just give a feeling of relaxation. That's it. Set the intention. The tiny muscles and tiny tendons are allowed to release any tension on every outward breath. That's it. And when you breathe in for deeper. And as you exhale, just allow that exhale to carry on longer than it normally would. That's it. Finding that the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed that you feel. And the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you breathe, the wonderful cycle of ever-increasing relaxation. Your imagination starts to drift to imagine a young woman visiting a quiet Greek island. And this woman isn't you, but you recognize qualities in her. And imagine that she discovers a secluded cove where the water was so clear that she could see the pale stones beneath her feet. And floating nearby was a brightly colored beach ball. And she places both hands upon it and starts to push it beneath the surface of the crystal clear waters. I want you to imagine that someone had challenged her to keep the beach ball under the surface of the sea for an hour. And for the first 5 minutes, it seemed easy. But the ball continues to press upwards. The water makes the beach ball slippy, and the harder she worked to hold it down, the more she could feel the desire for the beach ball to rise to the surface. And after a while, she began wondering how long she could continue resisting something whose very nature was to rise. And then her arms become tired. But she drifts off in her imagination, remembering a show that she once organized. A big event, the largest she ever managed. And all the details had been planned. The models, the outfits, the lights, the music, all carefully coordinated. And just before the show began, she stood backstage behind a huge velvet curtain, and she tries to push it aside, but the curtain feels impossibly heavy. And there's a stage technician close by that tells her the curtain was never designed to be pushed open. There's a small mechanism that releases it. And once that releases, the entire curtain can move almost effortlessly. And the technician reaches towards the mechanism. And just before he releases it, you can allow your attention to drift away from the story within a story, and focus within, because there's nothing you need to force right now. No one is watching and no one is waiting. No one is evaluating what happens. This is just private time between your conscious mind and your body. And the more your conscious mind rests, the more easily your unconscious mind can remember something that it once knew naturally. And as you take another deep breath in, then as you breathe out, just relax the muscles around your eyes, the tiny muscles in your forehead. You know the ones. The muscles responsible for facial expressions like surprise or concern. Allow them to relax now. And then your cheeks and then your jaw. That's it. Even allow your tongue to rest heavily and peacefully inside your mouth. And then soften the back of the mouth, the base of the tongue, and all those small, intelligent muscles that instinctively know how to coordinate breathing, eating, drinking, and releasing. If someone asked you what your body does, would you drink a glass of a drink that you enjoy? You might just say, I just drink. You wouldn't know all the tiny tendons and muscles involved. But there is a point where a certain part opens to allow that liquid to go from your mouth and ensure it goes into your stomach and not your lungs. So imagine a wave of relaxation moving from beneath your jaw, through the middle of your throat, and then down towards the base of your neck. And no gripping or bracing, and no need to swallow unnecessarily. Just space. That's it. And perhaps the muscles around your chest can soften, and the ribs can move freely, and the diaphragm can relax and move naturally. And the upper abdomen can become calm and comfortable. Because relaxation is not something you have to manufacture. Relaxation is what remains when unnecessary effort stops. And your body already knows how to open and release. Every time you take a sip of drink, small muscles relax and coordinate it in precisely the right sequence. You never need to consciously direct each one. You form an intention, and your body handles the detail. The pathway is already there, and the muscles already know how to relax. And when gas is naturally ready to travel upwards, those same areas can become calm, open and permissive in an equally natural way. You're not learning how to force a burp. You are learning that you no longer need to suppress one. And that is a very different task. And as someone who likes to act, organize, and accomplish, your unconscious mind can understand that your useful action is now to simply stop resisting, to notice that old reflex and instead release it. to recognize the moment when a bubble rises and respond by softening rather than swallowing it away. A swallowing movement sends something down, but the relaxation allows something to come up, and your unconscious mind can become increasingly skilled at distinguishing between the two. Down when something needs to go down, and up when gas naturally rises up. Each pathway safe, separate, and intelligently coordinated. And maybe you could imagine a small bubble rising through clear water. It doesn't need encouragement or instructions. It doesn't need to know what the surface feels like before it arrives there. It simply follows its nature. Only resistance can resist it. And when resistance stops, nature completes what it was already trying to do. The throat softens, the neck remains loose, the jaw stays relaxed. The tongue rests, the chest and the diaphragm remain calm, and the bubble is allowed to continue its natural journey, perhaps quietly, maybe almost silently, perhaps as nothing more than a tiny release of air. Because burps exist on a spectrum. The small bubble is a burp. A silent release is a burp. A gentle movement of gas that leaves you feeling slightly different, that counts too. And those recent bubbles, they were evidence that gas can travel upwards, and evidence that your body can release it. Evidence that the old belief that I can't or I don't burp is already outdated. You can burp, and you are now allowing your body to become increasingly familiar with doing it. And you can do it naturally and comfortably, because unfamiliar does not need to mean dangerous. Unfamiliar can simply mean that something has not happened often enough yet to feel ordinary. And the mind sometimes makes the mistake of deciding, this feels unfamiliar, and therefore it must be wrong. But that's just like adding 1 and 1 and getting 3. Unfamiliar is not wrong. It's not dangerous. It's simply new experience becoming familiar through repetition. Each tiny release teaches the nervous system that was safe, that was natural. My body handled it. And so, the next time becomes even easier, and then easier again, until sooner than you think, something that once attracted so much attention became so ordinary that you barely even think about it. You don't analyze every time you blink, or every time you swallow, or every time you breathe. And so, you no longer need to analyze every bubble every release, you can just trust the body to recognize that what is happening is natural and respond appropriately. That's it. And if an old protective reflex appears, that desire to suppress or swallow, you can appreciate its good intention because it learned to close and suppress, because the sensation felt strange. But your unconscious mind can separate all of those old experiences now. A natural gas rising to the surface is just natural gas. A spontaneous release is not a procedure. Your body can update to new ideas. Your throat can relax, and the rising sensation can become associated with relief rather than alarm. That's it. And when the gas knocks on the door, you can allow it to pass through. And if it doesn't on the first knock, it will knock again. And you only need to give it permission once, and then the gas is gone. That's it. Your body can do this when it needs to. You can trust it. And maybe you can imagine an evening in the near future where you've eaten food that you enjoy, and the gas begins to rise. But instead of becoming focused upon it, you remain calm, your body relaxes, your throat can open comfortably and naturally. That's it. When it knocks, you allow it to pass through, and then the gas leaves in whatever way is appropriate, quietly, gently, and naturally. That's it. And then as you think back to the curtains in that fashion show, see the technician's hand reach that small mechanism, releasing the catch, and that young organizer feels that impossible, heavy curtain become light. And so the curtains glide apart smoothly. And not because she pushed harder, but because the mechanism was switched and the resistance was released. That's it. There came a point where preparation converted into permission. And now, think back to that peaceful cove there on the Greek island, where that young woman is still holding the beach ball beneath the water. Arms are tired, hands continuing to press down, and the ball continues pushing naturally towards the surface. And suddenly, there's an understanding. The ball does not need to learn how to rise. It doesn't need to try harder. It doesn't need confidence, permission, or instruction. All along, it was just the resistance that kept it submerged. She loosens her fingers, softens her hands, stops pressing down, and the ball rises effortlessly through the clear water, reaches the surface, and gently pops into the open air. And I wonder how much time you've spent thinking or suppressing something that's nature is just a rise. A ball naturally rises. Gas naturally rises. And when the resistance stops, the body can complete what it began. And I want you to feel that same understanding settling deeply into your unconscious mind now. That whenever gas is ready to rise upwards, you notice, you soften, you allow. The jaw relaxes, the tongue rests, the throat relaxes, the neck remains open. The chest, diaphragm, and even the upper abdomen stay calm. You are allowing your body to be free, to do what bodies naturally do. And every small release builds familiarity. And that familiarity creates safety. And safety gives more relaxation. And relaxation allows easier release. And that release creates relief. And experience gives self-trust. Take a slow, comfortable breath in. And as you breathe out, allow that quiet confidence to start spreading to every cell in your body, floating back from the future, from a fashion show, from a beach, all the way back to the here and now as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connecting, calibrating to the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.